What if the most powerful tools for transformation were not found in what we say or do openly, but in the quiet, unnoticed moments of our lives? What if true strength comes not from bold declarations or grand gestures, but from silent practices that reshape our inner world? In the often chaotic noise of life, we overlook the immense power of silence, the space where we cultivate wisdom, resilience, and profound personal growth. In the teachings of Buddhism, silence is more than just the absence of sound. It's a source of deep transformation. Through it, we find clarity, compassion, and inner strength that help us navigate life with wisdom and grace. So, what are the silent practices that can unlock this hidden power within you? How can embracing these quiet acts lead you to live with a greater sense of control, purpose, and peace? Let's explore the 8 silent things that can make you more powerful, from mastering meditation to detaching from material desires, and see how the stillness within can guide you to profound strength. 1. Master the art of silent meditation. Silent meditation is a powerful practice deeply rooted in Buddhist traditions, and its mastery can profoundly transform your inner world. At its core, it involves sitting quietly, stilling the mind, and focusing inward. While this may sound simple, the effects of silent meditation are vast, offering immense benefits to those who practice it consistently. The power of silent meditation lies in its ability to train the mind. In our daily lives, our minds are constantly bombarded with thoughts, worries, and distractions. This constant noise creates mental clutter, which hinders our ability to think clearly, act wisely, and connect with our true selves. Silent meditation provides the space needed to detach from this mental chaos, bringing clarity and focus. It teaches us how to observe our thoughts without being consumed by them, fostering a sense of calm and detachment. By practicing silent meditation, you cultivate mindfulness, the ability to stay fully present in each moment. This heightened awareness allows you to observe the world around you without judgment, creating a deeper sense of inner peace. As your thoughts and emotions settle, you begin to recognize the transient nature of these mental states, helping you to let go of unnecessary stress and emotional turbulence. This leads to a profound sense of emotional stability, a key aspect of true inner power. Moreover, mastering silent meditation is not just about silencing the mind, but also about becoming attuned to the subtle energies within and around you. In silence, you can connect more deeply with your own body, breath, and emotions. You become aware of the patterns that govern your mind, your reactions, and your emotional responses. With time, this practice helps you break free from negative patterns, such as anger, fear, or anxiety, as you learn to respond to life's challenges with greater calmness and wisdom. The discipline required for silent meditation also strengthens your mental resilience. Sitting in stillness requires patience and dedication, especially when the mind resists quieting down. Through this struggle, you develop perseverance and the ability to endure discomfort, both physically and mentally. This mental toughness is a powerful tool that can be applied to all areas of life, enabling you to face adversity with grace and composure. Another significant benefit of silent meditation is the development of compassion. As you quiet the mind and explore your inner world, you gain a deeper understanding of your own suffering and the suffering of others. This insight fosters empathy and compassion, allowing you to interact with the world from a place of love and understanding rather than judgment or anger. In Buddhism, this cultivation of compassion is considered one of the highest forms of personal power. In conclusion, mastering the art of silent meditation is a transformative practice that can make you more powerful by fostering clarity, emotional resilience, mindfulness, and compassion. It is through silence that we discover our true strength, rooted not in external achievements, but in the depth of our inner peace and wisdom. Silent meditation empowers you to face life's challenges with equanimity and to live from a place of profound inner stability. 2. Cultivate self-awareness in moments of solitude. Self-awareness is the cornerstone of personal growth and inner strength. and solitude is one of the most powerful environments in which to nurture it. In the fast-paced modern world, we are constantly surrounded by external stimuli, distractions, obligations, and social interactions that pull our attention outward. Solitude, however, offers a rare opportunity to turn inward, allowing us to reflect on our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors in a way that we often neglect. To cultivate self-awareness in solitude means to embrace these quiet moments as opportunities for introspection. Instead of seeing solitude as loneliness or isolation, it becomes a sanctuary where we can truly connect with ourselves. In these moments, we learn to observe our thoughts without judgment, gaining clarity about who we are, what we value, and how we interact with the world around us. One of the first things solitude reveals is the nature of our thoughts. Without external distractions, the mind has space to wander, and often it reveals patterns of thinking we weren't previously conscious of. This may include recurring fears, desires, or judgments. By becoming aware of these thought patterns, we can begin to understand the underlying motivations and emotions that drive us. This insight is the first step toward mastering our mind, as we cannot change what we are unaware of. In solitude, we also become more attuned to our emotional landscape. When we are alone, there is no one to validate or dismiss our feelings, which forces us to confront them directly. This can be uncomfortable at first, especially if we are used to distracting ourselves from difficult emotions. However, by sitting with our emotions in solitude, we begin to recognize them as temporary states rather than defining aspects of who we are. This detachment fosters emotional resilience, as we learn that we can observe our emotions without being overwhelmed by them. Additionally, solitude allows us to reflect on our actions and behaviors in a way that leads to greater self-understanding. Without the influence of others, we can critically evaluate how we've been living, whether our actions align with our values, whether we've been true to ourselves, and where we may have compromised our integrity. This kind of reflection is essential for personal growth, as it highlights areas where we can improve and grow stronger. Another important aspect of self-awareness cultivated through solitude is recognizing the gap between our inner and outer selves. Often, we wear masks in social situations, presenting a version of ourselves that may not fully align with our true nature. In solitude, these masks fall away, and we are left with our authentic self. This authenticity is crucial for building inner power, as it allows us to live in alignment with our true values and desires, rather than being swayed by external expectations. Finally, solitude fosters a deeper connection to our intuition. Without the noise of external opinions, we can hear the subtle voice of our inner wisdom more clearly. This inner guidance, when nurtured, becomes a powerful tool for decision-making and navigating life's challenges with confidence and clarity. In conclusion, cultivating self-awareness in moments of solitude is a transformative practice that strengthens our sense of self, emotional resilience, and intuition. By embracing these quiet moments, we gain a deeper understanding of our inner world, allowing us to live with greater clarity, authenticity, and inner power. Solitude becomes not a place of loneliness, but a space for profound personal growth. 3. Embrace the power of silence in conflict resolution. Silence is often misunderstood as passive or weak, especially in the context of conflict. However, silence can be one of the most powerful tools in resolving conflicts, allowing space for clarity, understanding, and emotional control. In Buddhism, silence is revered as a form of wisdom, a method of cultivating patience, mindfulness, and non-attachment. By embracing silence during conflict, you harness a profound strength that enables you to approach disagreements with calmness and insight, ultimately leading to more peaceful and constructive resolutions. One of the most significant benefits of silence in conflict is that it allows time for reflection. In the heat of an argument, emotions can easily escalate, leading to impulsive reactions and harsh words that can deepen the divide. By choosing silence instead of immediate response, you give yourself the opportunity to step back, observe your emotions, and assess the situation from a clearer perspective. This moment of pause helps prevent anger or frustration from dictating your actions, allowing you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Silence creates space for mindfulness, helping you recognize and detach from negative emotions before they have the chance to take control. Moreover, silence offers the other party in the conflict a chance to be heard. Often, conflicts arise because both sides are more focused on expressing their own viewpoints rather than truly listening to the other. When you remain silent, you open the door for the other person to speak without interruption, fostering an environment of respect and openness. This act of listening is not just about hearing the words being spoken, but about understanding the underlying emotions, motivations, and concerns. In Buddhism, this form of deep listening is considered an act of compassion, as it acknowledges the other person's suffering and seeks to understand it. By remaining silent, you also create a sense of emotional control. Silence in conflict communicates a calm strength that demonstrates you are not ruled by anger or frustration. This can have a disarming effect on the other person, who may be expecting an emotional reaction. Your silence can shift the tone of the conflict, encouraging a more respectful and reasoned dialogue. In many cases, silence helps to de-escalate tensions, as it breaks the cycle of argument and counter-argument, allowing space for both sides to cool down. Silence also provides the opportunity for non-verbal communication, which can be just as powerful as words. Your body language, facial expressions, and eye contact during a moment of silence can convey empathy, understanding, or the desire for peace. In Buddhism, silence is seen as a way to reflect inner peace and compassion outward, creating an atmosphere that encourages resolution rather than further conflict. Lastly, silence promotes humility and detachment from the ego. In many conflicts, the desire to win or prove oneself right stems from egoic attachment. By embracing silence, you release the need to dominate the conversation or have the last word. This act of humility allows you to focus on the larger goal of peace and mutual understanding, rather than personal victory. In conclusion, silence is a powerful tool in conflict resolution. It creates space for mindfulness, deep listening, emotional control, and compassion. By embracing the power of silence, you can approach conflicts with a sense of calm and clarity, fostering an environment where peaceful resolution becomes possible. Silence transforms conflict into an opportunity for growth, understanding, and healing. 4. Practice mindful detachment from material desires. Mindful detachment from material desires is a key principle in Buddhism, as it teaches us to reduce suffering by letting go of attachments to worldly possessions, status, and superficial pleasures. This practice is not about rejecting material things entirely, but about cultivating a healthy relationship with them, one that is not rooted in obsession or dependency. By learning to detach mindfully from material desires, you open the door to greater inner peace, contentment, and personal power. Material desires, at their core, often stem from the belief that happiness or fulfillment can be found in external things, whether it's wealth, possessions, or social status. While these can provide temporary satisfaction, the happiness they bring is fleeting. When we cling to material objects as a source of happiness, we are setting ourselves up for disappointment, as they can be lost, destroyed, or taken away. This clinging creates a cycle of dissatisfaction because as soon as we achieve one material desire, a new one arises, keeping us trapped in a constant state of wanting. Practicing mindful detachment means recognizing this cycle and breaking free from it. It involves cultivating an awareness of your desires without letting them control you. Through mindfulness, you become more attuned to the impermanent nature of material things and the emotions they evoke. You learn to observe your cravings and attachments without judgment, realizing that they are temporary and do not define your worth or happiness. This awareness helps you shift your focus away from external desires and toward inner fulfillment. One of the key aspects of mindful detachment is the understanding of impermanence, a central teaching in Buddhism. Everything in life is transient: material objects, wealth, and even relationships. By embracing this truth, you can begin to let go of the attachment to things that inevitably change or disappear. When you accept the impermanence of all things, the need to cling to material possessions for security or happiness diminishes. This shift in perspective allows you to find contentment in the present moment, independent of external circumstances. Detaching from material desires also fosters emotional resilience. When you are not dependent on material things for your sense of self-worth or happiness, you become less vulnerable to the emotional ups and downs that come with gaining or losing possessions. You develop an inner strength that is grounded in self-awareness and self-sufficiency, which enables you to face life's challenges with equanimity. Another important benefit of mindful detachment is the freedom it brings. Material desires often create a sense of entrapment, as we feel driven to acquire more and more to maintain a certain lifestyle or image. This constant striving can lead to stress, anxiety, and a feeling of never having enough. When you detach from these desires, you free yourself from this cycle, allowing for a simpler, more peaceful existence. This freedom enables you to focus on what truly matters: personal growth, relationships, and inner peace. In conclusion, practicing mindful detachment from material desires is a powerful way to cultivate inner peace and personal power. By letting go of the need for external validation and possessions, you free yourself from the cycle of craving and dissatisfaction. This practice encourages a deeper connection with your true self and a greater appreciation for life's impermanence, leading to a more fulfilling and liberated existence. 5. Strengthen emotional resilience through inner reflection. Emotional resilience is the ability to withstand and recover from the emotional challenges life inevitably presents. Strengthening this resilience is essential for navigating life's ups and downs with grace, patience, and inner strength. One of the most effective ways to build emotional resilience is through inner reflection, a process that involves turning inward, examining your emotions, and gaining deeper insight into how they affect you. In Buddhism, inner reflection is a central practice for understanding and transcending the emotional turbulence we experience. It is about looking inward with mindfulness and compassion, allowing yourself to sit with your emotions, no matter how uncomfortable they may be. Through this process, you learn not to suppress or avoid your emotions, but to acknowledge and understand them, which is the first step toward emotional resilience. Inner reflection begins with mindfulness, becoming aware of your thoughts, emotions, and bodily sensations as they arise. Instead of reacting impulsively or being swept away by emotions such as anger, fear, or sadness, you observe them with curiosity and non-judgment. This mindful observation creates a gap between you and your emotional reactions, allowing you to reflect on why you feel a certain way and what triggers these emotions. This gap gives you the power to choose how to respond rather than letting emotions control your actions. Through regular inner reflection, you begin to notice patterns in your emotional responses. For instance, you may recognize that certain situations consistently trigger feelings of frustration or anxiety. By identifying these patterns, you gain insight into the underlying beliefs or fears driving your emotional reactions. This awareness empowers you to address the root causes of your emotional distress rather than merely reacting to the surface-level feelings. Another key aspect of inner reflection is learning to accept your emotions without judgment. Often, we label emotions as good or bad, trying to cling to positive emotions and push away negative ones. This resistance only strengthens the hold these emotions have on us. Inner reflection teaches you to accept all emotions as natural and temporary, allowing them to pass without becoming overwhelmed. This acceptance is a crucial part of emotional resilience because it prevents you from being trapped in cycles of self-criticism or denial. Through this reflective process, you also develop compassion for yourself. When you look inward and understand the pain or vulnerability behind your emotions, you learn to treat yourself with kindness rather than harsh judgment. This self-compassion is a powerful tool for emotional resilience, as it creates a safe inner space where you can heal and grow from emotional challenges. In Buddhism, this compassion extends not only to yourself, but to others as well, as you begin to recognize that everyone experiences emotional pain and struggles. Inner reflection also helps you cultivate a sense of impermanence, a key Buddhist teaching. Emotions, like all things, are transient. They come and go. By reflecting on the impermanent nature of emotions, you learn not to hold on to them tightly, allowing yourself to flow with life's changes without being overwhelmed. In conclusion, strengthening emotional resilience through inner reflection is a transformative practice that helps you navigate emotional challenges with greater ease and wisdom. By cultivating mindfulness, self-awareness, and compassion, you develop the inner strength to face adversity without being consumed by it. This process leads to emotional balance, allowing you to live with greater peace, clarity, and resilience. 6. Develop quiet acts of kindness and compassion. Quiet acts of kindness and compassion are among the most powerful and transformative behaviors a person can engage in. While often unnoticed by others, these acts carry immense value, fostering a deep sense of connection, inner peace, and strength. In Buddhism, compassion is a central tenet, and practicing it silently, in the form of subtle, unacknowledged deeds, embodies humility and true altruism. By focusing on quiet acts of kindness, you not only help others, but also cultivate a powerful inner resilience and emotional balance. At the heart of these quiet acts is the idea that genuine kindness does not seek recognition or reward. It is not about grand gestures meant to impress others, but rather small, meaningful acts that arise from a place of empathy and understanding. For instance, offering a listening ear to someone in distress, helping a colleague without being asked, or even just sending positive thoughts towards someone who is suffering are all examples of quiet acts of kindness. These actions may seem insignificant on the surface, but their impact can be profound, both for the recipient and the person performing them. In practicing these acts silently, without seeking attention, you cultivate humility. Humility is a key aspect of personal growth because it shifts the focus away from the ego and toward the well-being of others. When you perform a kind act with the expectation of praise, the action becomes centered on you, rather than on the person you are helping. In contrast, quiet acts of kindness are selfless, reflecting the Buddhist principle of non-attachment. You release the need for external validation, allowing the act itself to be enough. This detachment from recognition fosters inner peace, as it helps you break free from the ego's constant need for approval. Quiet acts of kindness also serve as a powerful tool for cultivating compassion, not only toward others, but toward yourself. When you engage in compassionate actions regularly, you begin to understand the interconnectedness of all beings. You realize that everyone experiences pain, suffering, and joy, just as you do. This understanding deepens your empathy and softens your heart, creating a sense of unity with the world around you. Compassion becomes a natural response, rather than a forced or performative one. Additionally, these acts can be incredibly empowering. They remind you that even in a world that often seems chaotic or indifferent, you have the ability to make a positive difference. You may not be able to solve all of the world's problems, but through small, quiet gestures, you can create ripples of kindness that spread beyond what you can see. This sense of contribution fosters a deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment, reinforcing the belief that kindness, no matter how small, matters. Furthermore, by practicing kindness without expecting anything in return, you nurture emotional resilience. Often, when we perform acts of kindness expecting gratitude or acknowledgement, we may feel disappointed or hurt when those expectations are not met. By focusing on quiet acts, you detach from this need for reciprocation, which in turn strengthens your emotional stability. You learn to give freely, not because of how others respond, but because it aligns with your values and enhances your own sense of well-being. Lastly, quiet acts of kindness help reduce suffering, both your own and that of others. In Buddhism, suffering is seen as a universal part of life, and one of the most effective ways to alleviate it is through compassionate action. By extending kindness, even in small and silent ways, you contribute to the easing of another person's suffering, and in doing so, you lessen your own. Compassion has a healing effect, both for the giver and the receiver. In conclusion, developing quiet acts of kindness and compassion is a transformative practice that not only benefits others, but also fosters humility, emotional resilience, and inner peace. Through selfless and subtle gestures, you align yourself with the Buddhist principles of compassion, non-attachment, and humility, ultimately leading to a deeper sense of connection with yourself and the world around you. 7. Nurture self-discipline without seeking recognition. Self-discipline is an essential virtue that helps guide our actions, decisions, and habits toward personal growth and well-being. In Buddhism and other wisdom traditions, the practice of self-discipline is highly valued, but it's crucial to approach it without seeking recognition or validation from others. When we cultivate self-discipline quietly, for its own sake, we develop inner strength and authenticity, which leads to long-lasting fulfillment. Self-discipline, at its core, is the ability to control impulses and desires, guiding one's behavior in alignment with higher goals or values. This could include setting boundaries around time management, practicing mindfulness regularly, or engaging in healthy lifestyle habits such as exercising or maintaining a balanced diet. The discipline to persist in these practices, even when they are challenging, is what builds inner resilience. When this discipline is nurtured silently, it becomes a true expression of your character, not something done for external validation or approval. One of the key benefits of nurturing self-discipline without seeking recognition is the deep sense of authenticity it fosters. When you practice discipline solely to impress others or to gain their approval, the effort becomes superficial. Your focus shifts away from the value of the discipline itself and toward the external outcome, how others perceive you. This often leads to burnout, as your motivation is tied to external praise, which may come inconsistently or not at all. On the other hand, when you nurture self-discipline quietly and for its intrinsic benefits, you develop a stronger connection to your inner goals, making your efforts more sustainable and rewarding. Another important aspect of self-discipline is that it helps you build emotional resilience. Life is full of distractions and temptations that can pull you away from your goals. By practicing discipline consistently, you train your mind to stay focused and not be swayed by fleeting desires or impulses. This creates a sense of control over your life as you become less reactive to external circumstances. Over time, this resilience helps you navigate difficult situations with grace, as you have built the habit of perseverance and patience. Nurturing self-discipline without seeking recognition also aligns with the Buddhist principle of non-attachment. In Buddhism, attachment to external outcomes, whether it be material possessions, relationships, or social approval, is seen as a source of suffering. By practicing discipline quietly, without seeking validation, you let go of the need for external rewards and focus instead on the process itself. This non-attachment allows you to experience a deeper sense of peace, as you are no longer dependent on others' opinions or recognition for your sense of worth. Additionally, practicing self-discipline silently fosters humility. In a world where achievements are often flaunted for praise, quietly maintaining discipline requires humility and a deep sense of self-assurance. This humility strengthens your character and allows you to remain grounded, even when others are striving for attention. By nurturing discipline in this way, you gain a quiet confidence that doesn't rely on others' approval, but stems from your own sense of accomplishment and growth. Lastly, silent self-discipline helps you cultivate patience. Personal growth and achieving meaningful goals often take time, and the ability to stay committed without expecting immediate results is a hallmark of true discipline. When you focus on the long-term benefits of discipline and detach from the need for instant gratification, you build patience and persistence. This patience becomes a powerful tool, enabling you to continue working toward your goals, regardless of external recognition or immediate rewards. In conclusion, nurturing self-discipline without seeking recognition is a transformative practice that fosters authenticity, emotional resilience, humility, and non-attachment. By focusing on the intrinsic value of discipline rather than external approval, you develop a deep and lasting sense of inner strength and peace. This quiet, consistent commitment to personal growth allows you to lead a more balanced and fulfilling life, grounded in your own values rather than the fleeting praise of others. 8. Embrace silence as a tool for personal growth and wisdom. Embracing silence as a tool for personal growth and wisdom is a transformative practice rooted in ancient spiritual traditions, including Buddhism. In today's fast-paced world, silence is often overlooked or avoided, yet it holds immense power to deepen our understanding of ourselves and the world around us. By consciously incorporating silence into your life, you can unlock personal growth, gain inner clarity, and cultivate wisdom. At its core, silence provides the space for reflection and self-awareness. In a world filled with constant noise, distractions, and demands on our attention, it becomes easy to lose touch with our inner selves. Silence creates a sanctuary where you can reconnect with your thoughts, emotions, and values. This practice of silence is not just about the absence of sound, but about creating mental stillness. It is within this stillness that self-awareness begins to deepen. By allowing your mind to rest in silence, you begin to observe the patterns of your thoughts and emotions without judgment, gaining insight into how they shape your actions and decisions. When you embrace silence, you also foster mindfulness, a key element in personal growth. In silence, you become more attuned to the present moment, fully experiencing your surroundings, thoughts, and feelings. This mindfulness helps you develop a deeper connection with your inner world, enabling you to become more conscious of how you react to situations, people, and challenges. This awareness is the foundation of personal growth, as it allows you to recognize areas in your life where you need to change or grow, without the distractions or noise that typically obscure your perception. Moreover, silence is a powerful tool for gaining wisdom. In Buddhism, wisdom is often attained not through speaking or intellectual debate, but through deep observation and contemplation. When you practice silence, you give yourself the opportunity to listen more, both to others and to your own inner voice. Wisdom arises from the ability to see things clearly and from different perspectives, and silence enhances this ability by quieting the mind and opening the heart to new insights. Without the distractions of external chatter or the pressure to respond immediately, you can think more deeply and reflect more meaningfully on life's questions and experiences. In addition to fostering self-awareness and wisdom, silence cultivates emotional resilience. By regularly embracing silence, you learn to be comfortable with solitude and with the full range of your emotions. In our noisy world, silence can feel uncomfortable or even frightening because it forces us to confront thoughts and feelings we often avoid. However, by embracing silence, you develop the strength to face your emotions head-on, rather than seeking distractions to numb or avoid them. This builds emotional resilience, as you become more capable of managing your emotions and navigating life's challenges with equanimity and grace. Furthermore, silence encourages humility. When you practice silence, you step back from the need to assert your opinions or prove your knowledge, allowing room for the wisdom of others. This humility, in turn, enhances your relationships and deepens your understanding of the world, as you become more open to learning and growing from others' perspectives. Finally, silence enhances your connection with the natural world and the spiritual dimension of life. In silence, you can observe the rhythms of nature, the subtle energies around you, and the interconnectedness of all things. This quiet observation nurtures a sense of peace and wonder, grounding you in the present and expanding your sense of what it means to live wisely and meaningfully. In conclusion, embracing silence as a tool for personal growth and wisdom is a powerful practice that fosters mindfulness, emotional resilience, self-awareness, and humility. By cultivating silence in your life, you open the door to deeper insights and a richer connection with both your inner self and the world around you. Silence, far from being empty, is a profound space for growth, reflection, and the cultivation of wisdom. Imagine a life where strength isn't measured by how loudly you speak or how much you achieve in the eyes of others, but by the silent, unshakable power you hold within. These 8 practices, each rooted in silence and mindfulness, are paths to a deeper, more authentic kind of power. Through quiet meditation, self-discipline, and compassionate action, you become more resilient, wise, and connected to the present moment. But the question remains: are you ready to embrace the silence? Can you allow yourself to step away from the external noise and discover the power that lies in quiet, unnoticed actions? In a world that constantly demands more of you, could it be that the real strength you seek is waiting in the stillness? The power to transform your life is already within you, if only you dare to embrace it silently.